Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Coming up next in the Hydration with Heart segment, brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut in collaboration with Charlie Rocket's Dream Machine Foundation. Today we're joined by the incredible Grayson Roberts. He's just 10 years old and was born with Axenfeld-Rieger syndrome, a chromosomal disorder which affects eye development, specifically characterized by abnormalities on the front part of the eye. Now, in Grayson's case, it left him with both glaucoma and aniridia. To date, the poor little guy has undergone 35 surgeries and 5 cornea transplants to help save even some of his vision. Although in July of 2023, after his final corneal transplant, he suffered a complete retinal detachment, leaving him with no vision in his left eye whatsoever. Now, with very little vision in his right eye, he is considered legally blind. But this doesn't stop him from connecting with his surroundings and living his life. He's going to join me today with his mom, Terica, to chat all about his journey, his passions, and how he continues to act limitless despite his obstacles. Welcoming now to the show are Grayson and Terica Roberts. Welcome, superstars.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, guys. How are you? So nice to have you on.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
You are a warrior mama, and Grayson, you are a superstar. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And Mom, it's so lovely to see you. But before we dive into the questions, I'm going to quickly share with our audience how we cross paths. And that's because of the amazing Charlie Rocket and his Dream Machine Foundation. He's a great friend of the show and our sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut. And I know he came across your lemonade stand last summer where you were raising funds to travel and see the world while you still have slight vision in your right eye. Grayson, can you tell me why you love to travel and why it's so important to you? And what are some of your favorite places that you've been to so far?
Some of my favorite places I've been to are New York and maybe London. I like the Eiffel Tower and the Empire State Building, and I think it's important to travel because it's important to learn how other people live in other cultures.
You are so right. That's primarily the reason why I love to travel. That's such a grown-up reason. I love that. Now, I know you also have a passion for music, specifically the drums. When did you first start drumming and why did you choose the drums?
I got my first drum set at 2, and ever since I started taking classes for them, and I like them because they're loud.
That's a great answer. I like loud too. That's how you get noticed. Now I know you were drumming at your lemonade stand and got noticed that day too, which ultimately led you to the one and only Travis Barker showing up to your next lemonade stand and even performing with you. Can you tell me about that experience and how was meeting and performing with Travis?
Meeting him was really cool. I never thought I would meet a famous drummer, and playing with him was amazing.
So meeting a famous drummer and playing alongside this famous drummer, Travis Barker, is really sounds like a dream of yours coming true.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I love this. Now, sticking with the theme, you are so clearly turning lemons into lemonade every day and living life to the fullest. It actually makes me think of a quote by Charles Swindoll, which the quote is, "Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it." Now, you, Grayson, have not just sat back and let life happen to you, right? I admire your spirit and tenacity, and you continue to share your positivity and talents with the world. And at just 10 years old, this is quite remarkable. I don't say this lightly. Now, speaking of your efforts, I know you recently won a grant from Flight for Sight to travel to Ghana in October to gain and share insights into the hardships of living with visual impairment and blindness in a developing country. And even to my understanding, to take a step further, you're currently fundraising to help purchase and bring as many canes as possible with you on the trip to give away. Can you tell me why you are excited for this trip and why it's so important to spread awareness about the limited access to mobility tools in these developing countries?
I'm excited to see I'm excited for this trip because I want to see how other kids live in developing countries, and it's important for me to spread awareness because other people don't know how blind people live in developing countries, and they don't get as much access as easy as we do in America.
Look at you on your way to TEDx speaker. Now, everyone definitely needs to head to your fundraiser page at gofundme.com/100 white canes for the blind to donate. And I can't wait to hear all about how the trip went in just a few months. We're going to definitely have you come back on. Now, this is so important because according to the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness, vision loss is driven by inequality, and globally, 90% of those affected by vision loss live in low or middle income countries, with South Asia and sub-Saharan Africa experiencing the highest rates of vision loss. So the numbers are not lying. And it's so important that we spread awareness, like you said, Grayson, and take steps towards improving the treatment and access in these areas, specifically those areas. Now, let's shift back to you, Grayson. While you're so full of positivity, I'm sure every day comes with obstacles and difficulties that most of us don't even have to think about, that you take in stride. I'd love to gain some insight into your everyday life. Do you use any special tools or technologies to help you? And what is schooling like for you?
I use tools like a brailler, a tablet, and a computer to see on the board.
And what does school feel like for you? Is it challenging or are you breezing through it?
It feels pretty easy.
I knew you were going to say that. You know why? Because you are wise beyond your years. You are an old soul, and everything is going to feel pretty easy when it comes to learning because you are one smart kiddo. Now, I've got a question for Mama. I know the syndrome Grayson was born with, Axenfeld-Rieger syndrome, is incredibly rare, and fewer than 5,000 people in the US have the disease. And in fact, only about 50% of people with it develop glaucoma like Grayson. Now, I'm curious to know, how did you learn Grayson had this syndrome, and were you aware prior to giving birth?
No, we had no idea until he came out. When he was born, his eyes were completely white. He had no vision. And we didn't actually learn until he was about maybe 5 months. And we had all the testing done, genetic testing, and none of us carry it. His dad or myself do not carry it. It just starts somewhere. And that's kind of what we were told. It starts with Grayson. So we've come a long way. We had to learn a lot about it. And yeah.
Wow, you're a medical mama expert. Now, Grayson, you're going to do a speed round of fun trivia questions. Are you ready? Can you answer with just a few words?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? What's your favorite song to play on the drums?
My favorite song to play on the drums is When I Come Around by Green Day.
And what's your dream place to travel?
My dream place to travel is St. Martin to see planes land.
Skiing or snowboarding?
Skiing.
Do you ski?
I did.
I love it. The beach or the pool?
Both.
Okay, fair enough. What's your favorite subject in school?
Science.
You are so smart. Who is your all-time favorite music artist?
Stevie Wonder, because he's blind like me.
Of course, you were going to say that. Awesome. Now, one last question before we wrap up. Okay, are there any messages you want to tell our audience about living life with being legally blind?
I think if you have any disability, don't give up on your dreams. Try to just keep trying to accomplish them, and you're limitless.
You guys are both so amazing, inspirational, and pretty remarkable. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Zan.
Thank you.
That was the amazing and inspiring Grayson and his mom, Terica Roberts. Definitely follow them on the gram at Grayson's_view to watch him continue turning lemons into lemonade. And don't forget to head to GoFundMe.com/100 white canes for the blind to donate for his upcoming trip. That was our Hydration with Heart segment, brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut in collaboration with Charlie Rocket's Dream Machine Foundation. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, 100% pure coconut water. Imagine a drink that's nutrient-rich, powerfully refreshing, naturally sweet with no added sugars, not from concentrate, zero additives, low in calories, absolutely no artificial flavors, and is so tasty that it will become your new favorite beverage. Enter Once Upon a Coconut, the absolute best tasting coconut water you will ever try. Available in 4 refreshing flavors: pure, chocolate, pineapple, and sparkling with energy. Do your taste buds a favor and pick up some today at onceuponacoconut.com.